Hey guys, Phil here at Woods Tree Farm, and you might see the smile on my face. I am excited. There is something on the tractor right behind me that I can't wait to test out here on the farm. So stick around, it's going to be a fun episode today. Well, if you have been following along on the channel for a little while now, you know a little bit about who we are and what we're doing out here. But if this is your first time, let me give you a quick intro. We are a Christmas tree farm here in Central Virginia. In our second year of operation, we bought the property November 2018, planted our first Christmas trees last spring, about to plant our second batch of Christmas trees here this spring. And along the way, while we're growing this business and trying to make the property more suitable for different kinds of events and things out here, there's a lot of cleanup work and a lot of other things. So I've had 4 or 5 videos in the past couple of months cleaning up this one little stretch here along the edge of my field. So we took down some trees and we had to cut those trees up, and we burned all the branches, and then we cut up a whole bunch of firewood from all those trees that we took down, and now we're still just left with a big mess. And there's still some branches, some smaller trees that I'm not going to turn into firewood, and there are actually still a couple larger trees that I still need to cut up into firewood. So all told, I probably took down about 20-25 trees of this little maybe 30-35 yard section here, and that is just the beginning of all the cleanup work. And I've been saying for a long time how a grapple would make this a lot easier. Some of you guys have said that in the comments. So finally, here we are. Finally got a grapple. I'm gonna pick this up and spin us around, and there it is. What do you think of that? This is the Land Pride 60-inch grapple. Borrowing this from a friend of mine. I didn't buy this, but I get to use it here for a little while until he says he wants it back. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what a grapple can do for me on this property, and we'll see if this experience with this grapple will sway my wife into saying that we need one here for ourselves all the time. So I've heard from plenty of people how a grapple is the most used implement on their tractor, or they may, some of you have said, oh, since I put the grapple on, I never put the bucket back on. I could totally see that, especially if you're doing a lot of cleanup work or a lot of brush moving or moving a lot of logs. So like I said, really curious to see how it does here. I am gonna fire this thing up and start cleaning up some of this brush. First time using it. First time for me using that third function valve that was just recently installed on my tractor. I shared that with you in a previous video. So really curious to see how it does here. I actually don't have anything hooked up on the back of the tractor right now, so I'm not going to do any insane heavy lifting today, because I didn't bother hooking up any extra implement on the back for ballast. I do have loaded tires. I know somebody will ask that. So my tires are loaded with some sort of fluid, I don't know which. So there's an extra couple 100 pounds of ballast on the rear end of the tractor anyway. But like I said, today, just for the first time, I'm not going to do anything crazy. Just going to move around some of this brush and start to get a feel for how a grapple could work here on my property. So here we go. All right, well, quick work of picking up those branches there and pulling them over there to start my next little burn pile. You can see them just over there, just past the tractor. So I've got a lot more cleanup here, but just pretty excited about that first little bit that I did. I have here now a few bigger logs that I'm going to pull off to the side. None of these logs are really big. There's one white oak that's about like 8 inches or so. That'll probably be the only one that kind of feels heavy to the tractor, but all these other ones are pretty small. But I'm still going to pull them off to the side, make a little pile, and at a future date I'll cut some of that up into firewood. What I'm going to do after that is start to go into the woods to clean up. Let me show you what's back here. So all throughout the woods back here, there's just a lot of dead wood that's on the ground. A lot of it's too rotten to use for anything. So I want to go through here. This is what I want to be a primitive campground in the future. So I want to start cleaning up everything that's dead down here. Some of it I'll just push out off to the side. Some of it I will pull out of here and take over to the burn pile. So curious to see how this thing actually does in the woods. Let's go test it out. Here we go. All right, well, I can tell the grapple is going to be super useful here around the farm. Just to be able to come into the woods like I just did, grab some of this dead wood that's just laying around in here and start to really clean these woods out. No one's had this property or maintained this property in quite a long time. So there's a lot of deadfall just laying around here in the woods. There's a lot of old pine trees laying around here. There is still some getting used to as an operator for that grapple. If you've used one before, I'm sure you probably remember there was probably a bit of a learning curve figuring out exactly how to move around different piles of debris, or how to gather up something heavy and how to clamp down on it with the right kind of leverage and all that kind of stuff. So there's a bit of figuring out to do, but I can tell this is going to be so useful. So thanks for following along and watching this introductory video, my first video here with the grapple. I'm going to have the grapple here for a little while. I'm going to have a bunch of other videos, and I know I have a couple other sections of property that I want to clean up with the grapple as well. I've got a big pile of stuff that I've already cut on a different part of the property that we've never moved anywhere, because I didn't have a grapple and there was no easy way to move it. So we'll be going to clean that up. Lots more stuff to come. If you haven't already, give this video a like, subscribe to the channel as well if you want to keep up with the work that we're doing out here on our farm here in Central Virginia. Thanks for watching today. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.